Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fantasy Points Projection Show here on fantasypoints.com. My name's Joe Dolan with John Hansen, Tom Brawley, and Scott Barrett today. Well, I suppose we'll have a rotating cast of characters throughout the season, but it's good to have John back. John doing actual parent things last week, which is commendable this time of year, and I hope we helped him out, John, behind the scenes. John, did you enjoy how we were basically talking to you even though you weren't here?
Oh yeah. Well, you notice how tight the projections were initially last Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
I looked into more things than ever, but I did have a parent teacher conference. I don't know if I told you guys the story, but I did have a parent teacher conference, and my wife and I went together because we have twins, so we had to go to each other's I went to Olivia's classes and she went to Ben's classes, but they have one English class together, so we walk in together. And one of the other parents commented on something like I think the teacher gave us like a good seat or something, and one of the parents jokingly said, "Oh, preferential treatment." And you know what the teacher said? The teacher looks at the woman and goes, 4 fantasy championships in the last 5 years.
There you go.
That's what I like. That's what I like to hear. Yeah. Well, hopefully she's listening.
Let's make it 5 out of 6 here.
Yeah, no parent-teacher conferences tonight, so the teachers are listening in here, I'm sure. So anyway, welcome everybody. Let's just get started. Rams Seahawks. John, I think it's notable. I actually already did my preliminary write-up for this game, a little bit ahead of the curve this week. It is interesting, I think, probably to note that even last week against Arizona, Jalen Ramsey played more snaps inside than outside.
Wow, so he didn't travel at all.
No, I mean, I think the thing is he'll selectively match up, but they don't travel. He played more snaps inside than out last week.
Man,
here's the thing though. There's no easy answer for Seattle. Because, I mean, it was basically 60-40 has been Ramsey's kind of breakdown, inside versus outside. The problem is Seattle doesn't have a predominant slot receiver. They move.
Yeah. And him on DK has been like a thing.
Yeah. When they are in 11, which is not they play a lot of 2 tight ends. When they're in 11, Freddie Swain is usually, and remember, we got to project scrubs for this one. It's a standalone game. But yeah, that's the thing. Swain's usually the guy, but this is like a zone, Cosell says they're doing a lot of stuff, moving guys around. So I just think it's one of those, consider it a tough matchup for Lockett and Metcalf. And plus Lockett's dinged. And when Lockett is dinged, that usually means Metcalf is the better play.
I don't have a good vibe on Seattle's offense at all. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. So what really surprised me is that the Seahawks are favored by 1 point in this contest. I would like the Rams to win by a margin. I think you hit on something important. Yeah. DK Metcalf versus Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey shut him down twice last season. And Lockett is hurt. I don't think he's close to healthy. And we've seen him before play through some really brutal injuries and just not be his typical effective self. And then just Seattle's offense as a whole is really gross. And 2 losses, Russ is averaging 31.5 passes. In 2 wins, 23 passes. Alex Collins had 10 carries to Chris Carson's 13 last week. So I don't know. The line is really surprising to me. I'd like to hear Tom's thoughts, and then overall,
it's moved to 2.5.
Yeah, it's 2.5.
Rams are favored. They opened up as 1 point favorites, but yeah, definitely money's coming on the Rams side here. The Carson stuff's interesting. I was reading Sean Michael Duggar there. Basically, they're going with the hot hand thing. Carson is the first guy, and if he's playing well, he's going to stay in there, and if he's not, Collins is getting chances, and then if he's playing well, he's going to get, it's they're kind of using a hot hand with those guys, basically, is what Duggar was saying. So I would guess, I think Carson had a hamstring injury a couple weeks ago, but he hasn't been on the injury report the last 2 weeks. So I don't think it's injury related.
I mean, it was 2 weeks ago. I could have sworn he got dinged up, and that's why he didn't play a lot.
I think he did, but he's been fine. He hasn't even been on the injury report before last week, and he's not on it again this week here.
I mean, these Seahawks are freaking mystery.
Have we heard anything about Everett?
I mean, I'm gonna guess he's got a shot to be back.
Yeah, I don't know.
We haven't heard anything, but like Disley did nothing last week, so you would think Everett's got a shot. But yeah, John, one more thing on Collins. His involvement has literally increased every week. He was inactive, then he played 11%, then 26%, and then 39% last week. It's just weird.
Something's got to give in terms of this matchup because of that. Yeah. Back to the original point, I would have thought that the Rams were favored by 4 or 5, but maybe they're giving it, the old divisional rivalry thing. But, that seems like a trap. I mean, even last year, like Russell didn't do crap in this matchup last year. He had 1 total passing touchdown and only completed 60% of his passes for fewer than 7 yards an attempt. So I don't know how we can paint Russell Wilson optimistically at all.
Yeah, he has 1 touchdown over his last 3 games against the Rams. Well, maybe that's minus the playoff.
He had a rushing touchdown as well, but yeah.
He had 1. Yeah. So, I mean, he's going to have to make up for it there because he ran for 70 yards in 2 games against them with a rushing touchdown, and he did run last week. I mean,
the Carson thing is so weird.
I don't know how this guy's going to be in our top 10 this week, though. I can tell you that.
It's tough, and I mean,
and the only thing I would say is, it's a game that's totaled at 55.
Yeah. There you go.
The Rams aren't the same defense as they have been in the last year here. So.
And then they'll find a way.
So they're going to have like a implied total of like 26 or so. They're going to have a chance to put up points. It looks like Everett did test negative on Monday, so he's probably going to play here. As long as, he gets another negative. So.
Carson didn't practice today. Neck injury.
Oh, interesting.
That was new then. He wasn't on the injury report yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why Vegas thinks this game is so close.
Did you see, John, about Woods, him basically throwing a shit fit at the end of the game, scored a touchdown. He had 1 catch before the final drive, and he kind of threw the ball at the back wall and kind of walked off the field, didn't celebrate at all. So like McVay's was saying on Monday, I need to do a better job of getting him the ball. Got to give him more opportunities. So
I was expecting an overcorrection or at least a correction, but I actually didn't know about his hissy fit.
Yeah, there's video out there. I'll put it in the game hub there. But yeah, he basically caught the touchdown pass and threw the ball at the wall and walked off the field, didn't celebrate. Right. So
damn.
Yeah.
Well, he was not happy.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I think it's just here's the deal with Woods, and I think what it's coming from is like Stafford has gravitated to Kupp like so much, and like I think Woods is used to like being the 1A, 1B, and now he's kind of like he's not involved. He has 25 targets. That's the same number as DeAndre Hopkins, but I think he's used to being the 1A, 1B any given week, and now he's kind of the 2A, 2B with Van Jefferson, which is frustrating to him. I don't know. I wonder if this is a squeaky wheel game.
Yeah.
He's probably pissed because he has Robert Woods in fantasy. That would make sense to me. I mean, honestly, even though Cooper Kupp had his worst game from a production standpoint, I'm kind of like even more encouraged by what we saw last week in terms of, is this a top 5 fantasy wide receiver rest of season? Because the Rams offense wasn't at all productive, but he had more than twice as many targets as the next closest receiver. So even when it wasn't going as well as it was, Stafford remained locked in on him and, getting the Megatron treatment where Stafford only has eyes for him. So I mean, I still feel amazing about him, and this is a very exploitable matchup.
Oh, totally. I mean, look at Debo last week.
Right.
Yeah. The backfield, Michelle's kind of dead here. He fumbled early in that game, and they basically exiled him to the bench there. So it's probably gonna be all Henderson here.
I hear that, but I wonder if maybe they, Michelle did have a shit ton of work last week and against the Bucks. That was a little unhealthy. Henderson did look great.
He does look great. I mean, that's what he is.
The only thing maybe, it is a Thursday night game, so maybe they don't want to give him 90% of the carries, but he's the guy right now.
I don't trust him, but I mean, use them while you can, obviously.
I mean, John, I mean, it was clearly a bench situation for Michelle.
Really?
Yeah, he fumbled at the 25, and that basically changed the entire game. They scored 2 touchdowns in a 2-minute span.
He didn't play. What was it? I think that might have been in the first quarter, Tom.
No, it was in the second. It was 7-7. Arizona scored, and then he fumbled, and they scored again, and the game was
I don't think he played snap the rest of the game.
No.
Oh well, I mean, I did like Henderson before the Sony trade, but I just I just really did feel very strongly about Sony. He has looked pretty good, I think, but we'll see.
Yeah, here's the thing, John, and this is obviously the fumble plays into this, but I went back and looked at all the snaps for the Rams running backs, and we've really got to move on. We always do this with the first game.
That's a good one. It's a big one.
When Henderson is active and healthy, he has handled when he is active and healthy, he has handled 56 opportunities for the Rams backfield. Michelle has seen 4.
Yeah.
All 10 of Michelle's carries in week 2 came after Henderson got hurt. So, I mean, Henderson has been like, when healthy, which is the problem, he has been Najee.